Okay, so what I need is some volunteers. I'm going to pull sticks. You need to bring your whiteboard and your dry erase marker up. Audra, you want to come bring your dry erase marker and your whiteboard. Roman. Maya. Zach. Little B. 2, 3, 4, 5. Julia. 6. And then Abby and Declan. Come up front with your whiteboard and a marker. Abby, you're writing a number 4 on yours.
Okay.
Little B, you're writing a 5.
Okay.
Julia, you're writing a 7.
Oh. Okay.
You are writing 10.
A big one?
You are writing 0.
Can I go?
You are writing 100. Maya,
You're writing
you are writing 0.
50.
Okay,
Where do I go?
so all of my numbers, I need you to stand over here, holding your whiteboards. Over here. I would like you to make the number 475 up front. Come right in front of the whiteboard with making the number 475. If you're not part of 475, then you're going over there. So if you're not part of 475, you need to stand over by Mrs. Hart's desk. Roman, why are you there?
It's wrong way.
4? Okay, I need my audience to raise your hand to tell us how they need to shift, give directions.
Put Abby where little B is, and then little B come back where Abby was.
All right, okay, so now we have the number 475. Everybody agrees?
Yeah.
Okay, take a scooch over towards that table. Just a little scooch. All right, who has number 10? Okay, Declan, hold up your number 10. We are now going to multiply by 10. What's going to happen? Who can tell us what's going to happen when we multiply by 10? Gavin Kesto. By what? Maggie, what happens when we multiply by 10?
So the 1, this is how I would do it. I would just multiply this by 1 and then add a 0. Adds a 0.
Okay, so where's our 0? We're going to add a 0. Maya, you should have 2 zeros on yours. Oh, no, actually, no, you're good. Sorry, you're going to be the 100th 0. Okay, Declan, now we're done multiplying by 10. What happened if Mrs. Brown was our decimal point? Actually, who wants to be a decimal point?
I'm Brown.
Zach again. Oh. Amelia, bring your whiteboard up and make a decimal point on it. Eli G, can you scooch back a little because I don't want to step on your toes. Okay, so Roman, back over here. Amelia, right here. Abby, stand up. There's no sitting on the job. Sorry. Okay, we have the number 475, right? We can write any number, kind of like when we just finished up with our fractions. We can put a 1 under any number as a denominator. We can also put a decimal after any digit. Declan, hold up your 10. We're multiplying by 10. All right, so what happens to Amelia? What happens to her? Which way does she have to move? Amelia's the decimal. If we're adding in our 0, which way does Amelia have to move? Which way does she move? Benjamin, to the right. All right. Zach, we're going to multiply by 100. Hold up 100. What happens when we multiply something by 100? Eli K.
What happens when you multiply by 100?
Mm-hmm.
Add a 0.
How many zeros? 2. So if we start with 475 and we add, what happens to our decimal? What happens to Amelia? Moves which way?
Up.
Not up.
Left.
Does she move left or right? She moves right, and now our 0 can fit in, right? Come on in, Maya.
Special.
Well, we have Roman already was here.
Sadly.
Okay. Okay, Roman, scooch down Maya on your knees for a second. Okay, now we have 475. Zach, we're going to multiply by, raise it up. Okay, now how many zeros do we add?
2.
All right, stand up. Now we have, what is our number that we've created now? Who can read this number? Ashton.
47,500.
Okay, so what we're going to start learning about today, as you guys saw in the pretest yesterday, are exponents. But do not get freaked out by that idea because it's just the same as multiplying by 10 and 100 and thousands and 10,000s. Okay? Thank you, my volunteers. You can head back to your seats. Eli K. Or Eli G.
It looks like it was 47,500 point. He's Mrs. Brown.
Yes.
Not point.
So when we multiply by 10, what happens to our decimal point?
It goes right.
It goes to the right. Remember way back when we did decimals, we talked about how they moved. They moved to the left when we made them smaller and to the right when we make something bigger. Okay, Eli G.
I see there on the board that you're doing those problems.
Yeah, I think we ran out of time. So let's just quickly go over. How do we solve 60 times 30? Who has some ideas? Audra.
Do 6 times 3 and then add the 0.
How many zeros do we add in this case?
1, since there's only one of them.
In 60 times 30?
You find the answer to 6 times 3 and then add a 0 after.
Okay, but look, we have 1 0 and 2 zeros. So we need to add 2 zeros. How about over this? 60 times 300. What are our digits that we're multiplying, Abby?
The 6 and the 3.
Which equals?
18.
And then how many zeros are we adding?
3.
Okay, so then add your zeros and then figure out where your comma goes.
Okay.
Okay, how about 600 times 3? Ashton.
6 times 3 is 18 and then you add 2 zeros.
Add 2 zeros. Where is my comma going to go?
After the 1.
Right here, so 1,800. Everybody on your whiteboards, do 600 times 300. We still have our comma. Jackson, where should you be? You should be up front with your math journal and your whiteboard. So we have 18. How many zeros are we adding, Gavin Huff?
4.
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We put our comma right here. How about 40 times 80? Gavin Huff.
4 times 8 is 32 and then add 2 zeros.
Add 2 zeros. Okay. So if we break 40 up, how can we break 40 up? Allie, how can we break 40 up? If I'm going to give you a hint what the first factor is going to be, it's going to be 4 times what? To make 40. How do we get 4 times 10? How can we make 400? It's 4 times anybody? Abby.
4 times 100.
4 times 100. How about this one? 180,000 is the same as 18 times
1,000.
Eli G.
10,000.
10,000. So here's something else that's going to, this is why some of you were getting upset, or not upset, but concerned yesterday. We can write 10 with an exponent of 1 up top. What your exponent does, remember when we're talking about square feet? Who remembers when we use square feet? Gavin Huff.
When we were doing area.
When we're doing area of something, right? So we're multiplying this, we're multiplying the length times the width. When do we think we might use, how could we transfer our thinking to 10, we say this, 10 to the power of 2? Eli G, what do you think this represents?
To the power of means that you multiply that number times itself, the amount of times that the smaller number, so
Okay.
if it's 10 to the power of 10, it's 10 times itself 10 times.
Which equals?
10 times 10 or 10
Yeah,
times
what does 10 times 10 equal?
100.
100. Okay. How about... Yeah.
I can't find my math book.
It's not in your desk?
No,
Are
I
you
can't
sure it's
find
not on the pile on top of your desk? Abby, you can help them look. Okay, what if we have 10 to the power of 3? If we use this same thinking, what do we think this is going to mean? JJ?
10 times 3.
No? Remember last time?
Itself. Or 10
Eli K.
times 10 times 10.
10 times 10 times 10, which is the same as, we have 10 times 10, which is 100, times another 10, which equals 1,000. 10 to the power, whatever digit is right here is the digit you multiply. The exponent tells us how many times we multiply that digit.
Why can't it just be
Yeah.
10 times? It's not in either one of the desks.
Jackson, please go down to Miss Hale's room to find your math journal. Okay, let's open up to, actually what we're going to do first is we're going to tear out our family letter on page 135. Don't tell me, that's like...
Can we turn it into
Okay, so, up on the house top. And page 136 has cards. When we go back to our desks, we are going to cut out our cards and add them to our little baggy collection. 135 is our family letter. And then also tear out page 136.
Look how clean mine is.
Now are we going up to our desk?
No. All right, our voices are off in 3, 2, 1, and 0. Abby, little B. Okay, now I'd like you to turn to page 142. 142. Ready? Turn to page 142. Gavin, where are you moving?
That's the broken one.
I know it doesn't. Okay, so either follow along in your math journal or take a look up here so that you can see the patterns. We have the numbers, the digit that we're multiplying, and what we're multiplying it by. Everybody, eyes up here. Sabrina,
What page is that?
I already said. Okay, shh. We have 2 times 3. Everybody, tell me, 2 times 3 equals? 6. Okay, now we have 2 times 30. This is just what we were doing. The same as 2 times 3 times 10, which equals everyone. Okay, what about 2 times 300?
600.
Okay, the answers are right here, so everybody should be saying it along with us, right? How about 2 times 3,000?
6,000.
All right, then we move to 20. What is the difference What is the difference between multiplying by 20 and multiplying by 2? Who can tell us? Maya, what's the difference between multiplying by 20 and multiplying by 2?
Zero.
There's an extra 0, right? So instead of 6, we get 60. Instead of 60, we get 600. Instead of 600, we get 6,000. Instead of 6,000, we get 60,000. All right, Val, let's look what happens when we multiply by 200. What happens? Who can tell us? Benjamin. Another 0. So how many total zeros are we adding from 2? We have 2 and 200. How many zeros are we adding? 2. So 600, 6,000. Everyone say it with me. 600, 60,000, 6,000, 600,000. Oh, now we're at 2,000. 2,000 times 3 seems like a really hard thing, right? But when we look at just 2 times 3, in this case, when we have 2,000, how many zeros are we adding, little b? You have 2,000 compared to 2. 3 zeros. So everybody say it along with me. 6,000. 60,000. 60,000. 600. 600,000. 6,000.
6
million.
6 million. All right.
That is less people.
Okay. Jackson was looking for his whiteboard or his math journal. Did he find it?
Yeah.
Okay. Number 40. What is 60 times 3? Give me a thumbs up when you have that answer. JJ.
180.
How did you get that?
6 times 3 is 18, and adding 0.
Okay. You guys do number 41. Give me a thumbs up when you have the answer for it. Maya, you want to put it on the board? Where does our comma go? All right. Everybody agree? 1,800?
Yes.
Gavin Huff, come do 42. Be ready with the next one if I call you. Everybody agree?
Yep.
Ashton. Jackson, we're on page 142. Okay, everyone agree? I saw Ashton pause because she wasn't quite sure where the comma was going to go, so she just then proceeded to put in all the zeros and then go back and add her comma. Abby, the next one.
Okay, so I don't know if this is totally right, but
How many zeros? Okay, now go back in and add your commas. Where would it be? Good, 180,000. Thumbs up, this seems okay to me. Thumbs to the side, yeah, so-so, and thumbs down. Thumbs down, this makes no sense. Okay, I see mostly thumbs up, which is great. Let's go on to the next page. So you're going to see how we're going to get through this whole math lesson. Okay, now this is where what we were talking about earlier. Everybody put your pencils down and your eyes up front. We're talking about powers of 10. When we move place values, how much do we increase by each time?
10.
Okay, everyone tell me.
10.
10. Okay. We increase by 10. So when we move our place values, we increase by 10. 1,000, we can break it out to being 10 times 10 times 10, which is how many 10? Show me on your fingers. How many tens is 10 times 10 times 10? Show me on your fingers. Everyone should be showing me fingers. How many tens are in 10 times 10 times 10? 3. So we show that as 10 to the power of 3. This is our exponent. Okay? So if we are going to write 10 to the power of 2, show me on your fingers how many tens we're going to have to write in that case. 2. So we're going to write that as 10 times 10, which equals, everyone, Everybody, what is 10 times 10?
100.
Thank you. Show me on your fingers, number 46, 10 to the power of 5. How many tens are we going to use? Show me on your fingers. Everybody round table, show me on your fingers. How many tens are we talking about when we have 10 to the power of 5? Okay, so we have 1 times 2 times 3 times 4 times 5 equals, how many zeros do I need?
5.
5, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we put a comma, 10 to the power of 5. Do number, yeah, just show you where it is broken up. Do number 47 and 48 for me, please. Think about how many times we need to use 10 when we have 10 to the power of 4. Little B, you want to come put it up? 47. I moved it. Sorry. Two, three, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Fantastic. All right, number 48 is a challenging one. Maggie, you up for it?
I'll do it.
Andrew.
If I mess up on this one.
What are you multiplying by 10 to get a 10?
Oh, I messed up on the easiest one.
You didn't mess up, you just forgot what. Okay, 10 times, it's only 10 one time is equal to 10. Okay, here, eyes up front, we're going to do it all together and then you guys are going to practice a couple. We have 5 times, how can we write 10 times 10 using exponents, Roman? Very good. For number 50, how can we write 3 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10? Gavin Huff.
This one?
Yep. No, how are we writing it with exponents? 3 times what?
3 times.
Take a look at what we did over here. We used 10. How do you represent 10 times 10 times 10? 3 times 10 to the power of 4. How about 51? Show me on your fingers. JJ, you want to come do it?
Yeah.
Everybody else, if we're writing, you're writing, please. 10 to the power of 3. Show me on your fingers how we're going to represent 10 times 2. How many, what do I put? Little b. Yeah, show me on your fingers, everybody. How do I represent 2 times 10? What do I need to use as an exponent? Trig, yes. Remember, we can write any number like that as a fraction. We can write any number like this. And we can write any number to the exponent of that is just the same as saying that number times 1, which is equal to that number. Okay, what is my exponent going to be for 53? 10 to the power of, show me on your fingers, Jewel. Yep, 5. 54 is 1 times 10 to the power of how many? Show me on your fingers. 2. We have 2 tens. Thumbs up. I got the swing of this. Thumbs to the side. So. Thumbs down. I need a little more practice. Okay. You guys were worrying, I think, yesterday with our pretest, but there was nothing to worry about. Okay.
I was worrying.
We're gonna do a couple on our own. No, a couple together, and then we're gonna go to our own. I just want to make sure you all have the swing of it. So 3 times the power of 3 times 10 to the power of 1 is the same as 3 times 10, which is the same as 30. 3 times 10 to the power of 2 is the same as 3 times 10 times 10. What is 10 times 10? 100. So 3 times 100 equals 300. Okay, what is 10 to the power of 3 the same as 10 times 10 times 10, which equals
1,000.
1,000. So 3 times 1,000, everyone.
3,000.
3,000. What is 10 to the, this one's a little trickier. We have 30, which we can break up to write as 3 times 10 to the power of 1, right? Times 10 times 10 times 10. How could we also write this? Instead of saying 30 to the power of 10, if we were just going to use 3, what could we say this would be?
30,000?
3 times 10 to the power of how many?
3.
How many tens do we have? 1, 2, 3. We have 4. So we need to have 1, 2, 3, 4. 30,000. Okay, group A. I would like you guys to go back to your desks, and you may work with a partner to compare your answers. Group B, you're going to stay up here with me.